so don't forget to like, comment. Howdy. This is a video that I've definitely been wanting to do for a very long time, and it is about that time, and I recently just got a new SD card, so yeah. This video is going to be computers 101. You're looking for a new laptop. This is the basics. This is what you need to know. Okay, there are three major components when it comes to picking out a computer. So these three things are going to be based on what you use the computer for. We are going to have our processor, we need to know our memory, and then we need to know our storage space. Yes, okay, great. First things first, our processor. I will do a separate video for Apple because it's a little bit different, and then I may even do a video comparing the two. Processors are going to essentially go 1, 3, 5, 7, and occasionally a 9. Be more on the heavy duty side. That is a powerhouse depending on what we're using it for. Also, I'm probably going to do a separate one for gaming computers because that's a little bit different too. But back to where I was. Processors are going to go 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. I would like to think of processors as brain power, I guess, maybe muscle. Compare it to muscles for now. It's brain power, but I don't necessarily want to, for understanding purposes, if you're here, you feel me, we're gonna say that that's like our muscle because it's our power. Yes, okay. So it doesn't have a number behind it if it's not an i3, a Ryzen 3, an i5, a Ryzen 5, or any other processor that there is out there. Main two brands as far as I know are by AMD and Intel. But if it doesn't have a number behind it, if it's a Pentium, if it's a Celeron, if it's a AMD Radeon, if it's a processor that doesn't have a number behind it, just go ahead and assume that it is a 1. 1 is going to be pretty base level. If you really don't do much on it, I would recommend maybe that for a super young person or an extremely older person, again, who is not going to do much on the device. Once we move to our 3s, maybe you go online here and there. We're doing maybe a little bit of Word. You know, again, pretty base level stuff. For those who are doing anything maybe school related or work related, I would recommend a 5 or above. So again, we have our i5, our Ryzen 5, i7, Ryzen 7, and then again occasionally a 9. Usually you'll find those in, maybe if you're a, well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So again, 5 or 7. Once you start getting into your more heavy duty software, such as your Photoshop, your video editing, your music producing, things like that, that's when I would say 7, 9. For those of you who may be in the engineering field and you're using things like AutoCAD, you're using Bluebeam, that's when I would recommend, again, 5 is sufficient, but 7 is going to give us that extra oomph that we need, especially over time, to keep up with our pace and to kind of be able to handle everything without slowing down. And then 9, you're just prepared for everything. You are ready, you are good and equipped, and yes. But I will say, as those number goes up, of course, so does the price. So we definitely need to keep that into consideration. But I will say you definitely can find them for deals. You just have to kind of be on the lookout, be on the hunt. But again, if it is for school, usually like high school, college, if it's for a small home business, if it's for working in the work field and you need to get a computer to take with you, then again, I would start at a 5 and go up from there. If it's an older person and they really only do 1 or 2 things at a time, I only use it for paying my bills and maybe checking emails here and there, then a 3 is more than sufficient. If you're getting your baby their first computer, not baby literally, but you know, you're a 7-year-old, you're getting them their first computer, you don't really want to get them a Chromebook, you're starting them out, then by all means, sure. But I'm sorry, me personally, if you really plan on using your computer, then there's no reason that you should have a 1. Now, if you have to get a 3, I understand sometimes it is what it is. 3s can do for the most part what you need them to do, but again, we want to keep up that speed, especially over time, and especially with what those tend to come with memory wise, and we're about to get into that. Again, 5 and above, you're usually solid. A solid computer that you're wanting to kind of future proof yourself, 5 and up is almost always the way to go, in my opinion.